Hi, children.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. All right, let's get started. Now, since the other two boys are not here, I will not discuss anything about session 1. I'll go ahead. All right. So we understood certain things in session 1. What are natural numbers? What are whole numbers, integers, and the various properties of integers? Closure property, commutative property, associative property, distributive property, and we also understood the additive identity for integers, multiplicative identity for integers. All right. So let me go ahead with that. We'll discuss the contents of session 1 and session 2 in the next class. That is during session 3. Okay. So we stopped here in the last class, the distributive property. We understood the closure property for all operations on integers. Okay, let me write here. We understood the closure property, commutative property. Don't write anything. Commutative property, associative property, distributive property we're going to learn now. So closure property of all operations. All operations meaning addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division on integers. On integers. Commutative property for all operations. For all operations. For all operations. On integers. On integers. And we also understood the associative property for all operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division for all operations on integers. On integers. So closure property, commutative property, associative property for all operations, for all operations, for all operations on integers, on integers, on integers. See, children find it difficult to remember this. That is why I'm repeating it so many times. So learn it the same way I told you now. See, like when you're asked, like what topics you have learned, sometimes I find children find it difficult to say that we have learned the closure property for all operations on integers. So there is some kind of a confusion there as to how to express that. So you should know to express whatever you have learned. That's very important. Okay, so that's why I was repeating the properties so many times. So you should be able to say what you have learned. So proceeding, let's recall the additive identity. Additive identity for integers. Anirudh, can you tell us which is the additive identity for integers?
Ma'am, that into 1 or plus 0 and into 1, ma'am. That.
No, additive means plus or multiplication, Anirudh.
Multiplication into 1, ma'am.
Anirudh, relax, Anirudh. Relax. Additive meaning plus or multiplication.
Ma'am, multiplication.
Then what is multiplicative? Then what is multiplicative?
Oh.
Multiplicative identity for integers.
It is multiplicative identity is multiplication and additive identity is addition.
Yeah. So when it's additive identity, it's addition. Multiplicative identities for multiplication. Now, Anirudh, you answer only this question. What is the additive identity for integers? I just want that answer, nothing else. What is the additive identity for integers?
Ma'am, 0.
That's all. Your answer
Yes.
should all of you. Answer should always be crisp. Crisp meaning just answer to the point. 0. Okay, I don't know if it is right or wrong. Let's see. Navneet, what is the multiplicative identity for integers? Anirudh, what's the multiplicative identity for integers?
1, ma'am.
1. Yeah. Now, why do we say that? Why do we say that the additive identity is 0? Because when you take any integer, say like -10, any integer, and add a 0 to it, or if you take 0 and add any integer to it, say -10 again, what is the result? -10 itself. -10 itself. -10 plus 0 is -10. 0 plus -10 is also, I can put a bracket here. So 0 plus -10 is also -10. So you get the same answer, identical answer. You get the same answer, that is the identical answer on adding. So I told you identity means identical, same answer. And for addition, additive identity means on adding. So on adding, when do you get the same answer? When you add 0. So 0 is called the additive identity for integers. So how do we write that? If a is an integer, a plus 0 is the same as 0 plus a is equal to a, where a is any integer. You must know to say this as well as write it. If you know to say, you can write it. So you should say this. If you're asked to explain, the additive identity for integers, this is what you should write. You must write a plus 0 is equal to 0 plus a is equal to a. Because for a plus 0 also you get a as the answer. 0 plus a also a is the answer. And what is this a? Who's a? Where a is any integer. Where a is any integer. We saw this in the last class. Now coming to the multiplicative identity. -10 into 1 is -10. Okay, if I take the same number, maybe you may not understand clearly. Let me take a different number, say like 15. 15 is an integer. 15 is an integer. Now, when you multiply what to it, you will get the same answer. See, whether it is addition or multiplication, you want the same answer. You want that integer itself as the answer. So under addition, what should you do? You should add 0. Under multiplication, what should you do? If you multiply by 0, you will get 0. 15 into 0 is 0. 15 plus 0 is 15. But 15 into 0 is 0. So 15 into what will give you 15 itself? 1. Or what is 1 into 15? 15. So whether it is 15 into 1 or 1 into 15, you get 15 itself as a result. That is a into 1 is the same as 1 into a is the same as a, where a is any integer. When you're adding, you must add 0. When you're multiplying, you must multiply by 1. See, if you add 1, the answer will change. Now, supposing 5, you add 1 to it. You will not get the same answer 5. You will get 6. You will get 6. You will not get the same answer. So to 5, what should you add so that you get the same answer 5? 0. That is why 0 is called the additive, because on adding, you should get the same answer. That's why 0 is called the additive identity. Now, while multiplying, 5 into what will give you the same answer 5, not 0. If you put 0, you will get 0. If you multiply 5 with 0, you will get 0. You will not get 5. You want 5 as the answer. So 5 into what will give you the same answer 5. 5 into 1. That is why 1 is called the multiplicative identity. So don't get confused with these two. The additive identity, meaning same answer, identity. The additive identity for integers is 0, and the multiplicative identity for integers is 1. You must know to write this. A plus 0 is the same as 0 plus a is equal to a, where a is any integer. And also a into 1 is equal to 1 into a is equal to a, where a is any integer. You must know to write this. Is this clear, children? Navneet and Anirudh?
Yes, ma'am.
Anirudh?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Moving on to additive inverse. Additive inverse. Okay. Now this is new. We did not see this in the last class. What is additive inverse? Also called the negative of an integer. We are going to understand what additive inverse is, or what is the other word for additive inverse? Negative. Additive inverse of an integer, or the negative of an integer. Now, what is this? Now, supposing you consider the integer minus 3. Minus 3 plus what will give you 0 as the result? Minus 3, see, additive. So we are using the operation addition because additive inverse means what? Now, supposing you consider the integer minus 3. Minus 3, why we using addition sign? Because additive inverse. So plus what will give you 0 as a result?
3, ma'am. 3.
Minus 3 plus 3 is 0. So we say that the additive inverse of minus 3 is 3. The additive inverse of minus 3 is 3 because minus 3 plus 3 is 0. Now, supposing you consider the integer 5. 5 plus what will give you 0? 5 plus what will give you 0?
Minus 5.
5 plus minus 5 is 0. So we say that 5 minus 5 is the negative, or the additive inverse of 5. The vice versa is also 2. See, when you take two integers, when you take these integers 2 and minus 2, we say that 2 is the additive inverse. 2 is the additive inverse of minus 2. Minus 2 is the additive inverse of 2. 2 is the negative of minus 2. Minus 2 is the negative of 2. Do we understand that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So now see here, 10 minus 10, 7 minus 7, 6 minus 6, minus 3 plus 3. Supposing 100 minus 100. Supposing minus 50, then plus 50. Now I'll read these two for you. Anirudh will read this. And Navneet will read these two.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Now listen to me carefully. 10 is the additive inverse. Additive inverse. Ten is the additive inverse of minus 10. Minus 10 is the additive inverse of 10. Or 10. Or 10. Yeah, tell me.
Ma'am, can we also say additive inverse of 10 is minus 10? Additive inverse of 7 is minus 7, like that?
Now, Anirudh, you have to wait till I finish. After I finish these two, you can ask your questions. See, I told you I will read these two. So once I finish reading, then if you have a doubt, you should ask me. You are interrupting me. I haven't finished. I'll finish these two. Once I finish these two, if you still have a question, you can ask me. Understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's what I told you. I said I'll read these two for you, and then you both can continue. So I haven't finished reading these two. So please wait. Listen to my instructions carefully. Okay, so I'm going to read these two for you. 10 is the additive inverse of minus 10. Minus 10 is the additive inverse of 10. Or you can also say 10 is the negative of minus 10. Minus 10 is the negative of 10. 7 is the additive inverse of minus 7. Minus 7 is the additive inverse of 7. Or 7 is the negative of minus 7. Minus 7 is the negative of 7. Now, Anirudh, continue.
Ma'am, I said can we ask 6? 6 is the additive inverse of minus 6 like that I said, ma'am.
I told that, no, you didn't listen to me.
Okay, ma'am. Can I say, ma'am?
Yeah, please.
Ma'am, 6 is the additive inverse of minus 6. Minus 6 is the additive inverse of 6.
Very good.
Minus 3 is the additive inverse of 3. 3 is the additive inverse of minus 3.
Very good. Now use the term negative and say. 6 is the negative. Use the term negative. 6 is the negative of minus 6.
6 is the negative of minus 6. Minus 6 is the positive of 6.
No. Minus 6 is the negative of 6. Both the ways you should say negative only.
Okay, ma'am. 6 is the negative of minus 6. Minus 6 is the negative of 6. Minus 3 is the negative of 3. 3 is the negative of minus 3. 3 is the negative of minus 3.
Excellent. Excellent. Continue, Navneet.
Yes, ma'am. 100 is the additive inverse of minus 100. Minus 100 is the additive inverse of 100. Or 100 is the negative of minus 100. And minus 100 is the negative of 100.
Okay, good. Next.
Yeah. Minus 50 is the additive is the additive inverse of 50. 50 is the additive inverse of minus 50. Or minus 50 is the negative of 50. 50 is the negative of minus 50.
Very good, Navneet. Excellent. Both of you did a great job. Very good. Now you understood that? Why? Because why they are called additive inverses or negative? Because when you add them, you will get 0. When you add 7 plus minus 7, 0. 6 plus minus 6, 0. Minus 3 plus 3, 0. 100 plus minus 100, 0. Minus 50 plus 50, 0. That is why they are called the negatives or the additive inverses of each other.
Okay, ma'am.
Very good. Now coming to the multiplicative inverse or reciprocal of an integer. Okay. So what we just finished, I'll write. We just finished additive inverse or negative of an integer. So in general, we say a plus minus a is the same as minus a plus a, which is equal to 0. Where a is a and minus a both are integers. A and minus a both are integers. The additive inverse of a is minus a. The additive inverse of minus a is a. Why? Because when you add them, when you add an integer and its additive inverse, the answer will always be 0. When you add an integer and its additive inverse, the sum will always be 0. Now, multiplicative. The next one is multiplicative. Sorry, multiplicative inverse or reciprocal of an integer. Reciprocal of an integer. Now, let me give you examples. You will understand yourself. Now, the multiplicative inverse of 5 is 1 by 5. The integer is 5. The integer is 5. Its multiplicative inverse is 1 by 5 because 5 into 1 by 5 is 1. Multiplicative inverse means the product should be 1. When you consider two numbers, if their product is 1, then they're said to be the reciprocals of one another. They're said to be the reciprocals of one another. Listen, till I finish, listen. Now, when you consider this pair, when you consider the pair 6 and 1 by 6, 6 is the reciprocal of 1 by 6. 1 by 6 is the reciprocal of 6 because their product is 1. That's why multiplicative inverse. Multiplicative meaning we should use the multiplication sign. You should use the multiplication sign. Additive inverse meaning plus, addition. Multiplicative inverse, multiplication. Now, what is multiplicative inverse or reciprocal of an integer? Now, when you take this integer minus 6. Okay, I'll come to negative integers later. 1 minute. Let me finish with the positive integers. Now, when you take the positive integer 10, its reciprocal is 1 by 10 or its multiplicative inverse is 1 by 10 because 10 into 1 by 10 is 1. See, 10 and 10 cancels. The product is 1. Now, the multiplicative inverse of 10 is 1 by 10 because the product of 10 and 1 by 10 is 1, not 0, is 1. Now, when you take the integer minus 3, its reciprocal or multiplicative inverse, both are the same. Multiplicative inverse, reciprocal, both mean the same. Now, the reciprocal of minus 3 is minus 1 by 3 because when you multiply these two, what is the answer you get? 3 and 3 gets cancelled. Minus into minus plus. Minus into minus plus. So plus 1. The product should be plus 1, not minus 1. The product should be plus 1, not minus 1. So the reciprocal or the multiplicative inverse of minus 3 is minus 1 by 3. 3 and 3 gets cancelled. Minus into minus plus, plus 1. Now the multiplicative inverse of say 2. The multiplicative inverse or the reciprocal of 2 is 1 by 2. Because when you multiply 2 and 1 by 2, the product is 1. When you take minus 23, the reciprocal or the multiplicative inverse of minus 23 is minus 1 by 23. Because when you multiply minus 23 and minus 1 by 23, the product is 1. 1 minute, I think that. Yeah, the product is 1. See here, 23 and 23 gets cancelled. Minus into minus plus 1. So a into 1 by a is equal to 1, where a is an integer. 1 by a need not be an integer because when you take the integer 10, its reciprocal is 1 by 10. But 1 by 10 is not an integer because, 1 by 10 is not an integer. It's okay. So a into 1 by a, the product of a and 1 by a is 1. The product of a and 1 by a is 1, where a is an integer. If a is the integer, 1 by a is its reciprocal. If minus a is the integer, then minus 1 by a is its reciprocal. I'll tell you how to remember. It's not confusing, but you still need to remember it, no? You should not get confused anytime. Okay. So here we say if A is the integer, then 1 by A is its reciprocal. So A into 1 by A is 1. If minus A is the integer, then 1 by minus 1 by A. You can put the minus sign anywhere. Minus 1 by A is its reciprocal because again the product is 1. Now 0, the integer 0 does not have a reciprocal because 0 means 0 by 1. Its reciprocal will be 1 by 0. But we know that division by 0 is not defined. So 0 is an integer which does not have a reciprocal. 0 is the only integer. See, 0 is an integer. Now 0 is an integer which does not have a reciprocal. Why? Because 0 means 0 by 1. Like 5 means 5 by 1. 6 means 6 by 1. So 0 means 0 by 1. Its reciprocal will be 1 by 0. Its reciprocal will be 1 by 0. But division by 0 is not defined. So 0 is an integer which does not have a reciprocal. That's the only integer which does not have a reciprocal. Now let's understand how to remember the negative of an integer and reciprocal of an integer. See, you can do two things. One is change the sign. There are two things. One is change the sign. One is turn the number upside down. Like if it is 2 by 3, you make it 3 by 2. If it's 2 by 3, make it 3 by 2. If it is 5, that is 5 by 1, you make it 1 by 5. See, if it is 6, 6 means 6 by 1. We all know that. 6 means 6 by 1. So if it is 6 by 1, make it 1 by 6. Make it 1 by 6. So you can turn the number, meaning you can take the reciprocal, put it upside down. Write the numerator and the denominator and the numerator. So two things you can do. Like if you have 5 with you, you can make this plus 5 minus 5. Listen to me fully. Or if you have minus 5, you can make it plus 5. So you can change the sign. That's one thing. Or what is the other thing you can do? If you have 5, you can take its reciprocal, like 1 by 5. 5 by 1, no? 5 by 1. You can make it 1 by 5. Or if you have minus 5 by 1, you can make it minus 1 by 5. You can turn it upside down. You can take the denominator. See here, you're writing the denominator and the numerator and the numerator and the denominator. That minus sign, you're putting it as it is. Now I'm coming to the point. What I'm trying to say is when you're writing the negative, what you should do is, supposing you're writing the negative of minus 51. Okay, write the number as it is. Just change the sign. Minus will become plus. Do only one change. That is, write either you can change the number or you can change the sign. Two things you can do. You can change the number or you can change the sign. When you're writing the negative, write the number as it is. Change the sign. If it is minus, make it plus. If it is plus, make it minus. That is negative. For reciprocal, what you should do is, for the same number minus 51, for reciprocal, write the sign as it is. But change the number. 51 by 1 will become 1 by 51. That's all. So two things you can do. Either change the sign or change the number. The sign or the number. For negative, change the sign. Write the number as it is. For reciprocal, write the sign as it is. Change the number. 51 by 1 will become 1 by 51. Now I'll keep writing, you will understand. Listen to me. Then I'll ask you questions. Okay, so here I'm writing negative. I'm writing reciprocal here. Suppose the number is minus 3. For negative, what I'll do? For negative, I'll write the number as it is. I'll change the sign. Supposing I have this number. For negative, what I'll do is, I'll write the number as it is. I'll change the sign. Plus will become minus. Supposing I have 23. For negative, I'll write the number as it is, 23. Plus will become minus. I'll only change the sign. For negative, change sign. Change only sign. For reciprocal, change the number. Meaning invert the number. When I say change the number, meaning invert the number. I'll just write change the number, okay?
Ma'am, upside down.
Upside down. Change the number meaning upside down, correct. So remember like this, changing the sign, changing the number. So when you're writing negative, change the sign. Minus will become plus. Write the number as it is. You should do only one change. Write the number as it is. When it is reciprocal, for the same numbers we'll write. For the same numbers we'll write. For -3, if I have to write the reciprocal, don't change the sign. Write the sign as it is. Change the number. 3 by 1 will become 1 by 3. For the same number 10. For the same number 10. Okay, 10. If you're writing the reciprocal, change only the number. That is 10 by 1 will become 1 by 10. Write it upside down. This is 10 by 1. Write it as 1 by 10. But don't change the sign. Plus will be plus only. It's plus 10 here. It will be plus 10 here also. Now for 23, it's plus 23. It will be plus only. You will not change the sign. Change the number. 21 by 23 by 1 will become 1 by 23. So this is how you change to write the reciprocal and to write the negative. For negative, write the number as it is, change the sign. For reciprocal, write the sign as it is, change the number, meaning write it upside down. For reciprocal, upside down only. For negative, you should change the sign. Okay, now I'll ask one by one. Think an answer. Think an answer. The reciprocal of -11 is dash. Navneet. Think an answer. No, don't be in a hurry. For reciprocal, what will you change? The sign or the number?
And the sign.
Wrong. Anirudh?
Ma'am, number, ma'am, it is the answer is -1 by 11.
Very good, Anirudh. Very good. Very good. Anirudh, next question for you. The reciprocal of 3 is?
Ma'am, 1 by 3.
What did you change, Anirudh? Did you change the sign or the number?
Number, ma'am.
Number. What is the sign?
Ma'am, we should you're asking to change the sign, ma'am.
Oh no. See, what is the sign? 3 has what sign?
Positive.
Positive. Did you change the sign? No, you wrote the sign positive only, but you change the number. What is 3? It becomes?
Ma'am, 1 by 3.
1 by 3. The reciprocal of 3 is 1 by 3. Very good, Anirudh. Navneet, you can try again. The reciprocal of 17 is?
Ma'am, 1 by 17.
What did you change? The sign or
Ma'am,
the...
Ma'am, the number.
What is the sign?
Positive.
Positive. What sign do you have in the answer? Positive.
Positive.
So you did not change the sign. What did you change? You changed the number. What did you do to the number? 17 by 1, you wrote it as 1 by 17.
1 by 17.
Navneet.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Ma'am, the answer is 1 by
Anirudh.
Ma'am, 1 second. Let me answer.
Okay. Fine. No, Anirudh, wait. He wants to think.
Ma'am, -1 by 32.
So what is the sign? What is the sign for for 32? Is it negative or positive?
Negative.
So you did not change the sign. You put the same sign minus, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is 32? 32 means 32 by 1, correct?
32 by 1, yes, ma'am.
So you changed the number. You made it 1 by 32.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anirudh, the reciprocal of 1 is?
Ma'am, 1 by 1. 1 by 1.
What is the sign for 1?
Ma'am, positive.
So the answer will be positive or negative?
Positive, ma'am. 1 by 1.
1 by 1. So the reciprocal of 1 is 1 by 1, which is 1 itself. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Navneet.
Yes.
What is the reciprocal of minus 1?
Ma'am, minus 1 by 1.
1 minute, children. There's somebody at the door. I'll just come. Please wait.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, children, I'm back. Yeah, I think I was asking Navneet. What is the reciprocal of minus 1?
Ma'am, minus 1 by 1.
Correct. What is minus 1 by 1?
Ma'am, what do you mean?
Yeah, minus 1 by 1 is nothing but?
Nothing but 1. 0, 0.
Now, Anirudh, what is minus 1 by 1 equal to?
Ma'am, negative sign.
No, what you can also write minus 1 by 1 as?
Ma'am, minus.
I didn't repeat. Minus 1 by 1 is equal to?
Minus 1.
Minus 1. Very good. Minus 1 by 1 is nothing but minus 1. Like how 5 by 1 is 5. 6 by 1 is 6. So minus 1 by 1 is not. You can just take out this denominator 1. It's minus 1.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
It's minus 1. So what do you observe? The reciprocal of 1 is itself. The reciprocal of minus 1 is itself. So 1 and minus 1 are their own reciprocals. 1 and minus 1 are their own reciprocals. 0 does not have a reciprocal. You must remember all this. 0, the integer 0 does not have a reciprocal. 1 and minus 1 are their own reciprocals because the reciprocal of 1 is 1 itself. The reciprocal of minus 1 is minus 1 itself. Repeat all the 3 statements. Anybody can do it. Repeat the 3 statements.
The reciprocal of -1 is -1 itself, ma'am. The reciprocal is 0. No, ma'am. No reciprocal is for integer 0, ma'am.
Okay.
And then for -1, that itself, ma'am. Same only, ma'am.
Okay, you try, Navneet. Anirudh, you were two of it were right. The third one actually you repeated.
Yes, ma'am. You repeated the same thing only, ma'am, but with the minus, ma'am.
Okay, no problem. Navneet.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Minus 1 by 1 is minus 1 itself.
No. Okay, I'll repeat. I'll just tell you again. I said 0 is an integer which does not have a reciprocal. Okay, I think I should talk slowly. Fine. 0
Yes.
is an okay. 0 is an integer which does not have any reciprocal. Then I said 1. The reciprocal of 1 is 1 itself. The reciprocal of -1 is -1 itself. That means 1 and -1 are their own reciprocals.
Okay.
Yeah, repeat.
The reciprocal of 1 is 1. The reciprocal of 1 minus 1 is -1 itself.
Yeah, go on.
After that,
The integer 0.
the integer 0. Ma'am, I don't remember the last point.
No
Ma'am,
problem. The integer 0
has no reciprocal.
has no reciprocal.
The
Then,
integer 0 has no reciprocal.
very good. Then I said 1 and -1 are their own reciprocals.
1 and -1 are their own reciprocals.
Yeah, you must remember all this. Very good. Good, both of you. Now let's practice negative of an integer. Negative of an integer. Okay. The negative of -11 is, what will you change here for negative? Will you turn the number upside down or will you change the sign?
Sign, ma'am.
Sign only you should change, not the number. Should not change the number for negative. For reciprocal, you should change the number. That is, you should turn the number upside down. For reciprocal number, you should change, not the sign. Write the same sign. For negative, change the sign. Don't change the number. So -11, the negative of -11 is +11, or simply 11 you can write. Don't say +11, right? 11, that's all. You don't have to say +11. 11. Okay, now one by one. Navneet, the negative of 5 is?
-5.
Anirudh, the negative of 10 is?
-10.
Very good. Navneet, the negative of -23 is?
23.
Anirudh, the negative of -50 is?
Ma'am, 50.
Very good. Now, Anirudh, tell me, what is the other term for negative of an integer?
Other term, ma'am.
Other term. What is negative of an integer also called?
Reciprocal.
Ah! Come on.
Ma'am, reciprocal like that.
Navneet?
Ma'am, I think it's a minus sign.
Negative of an integer is also called the additive inverse. Additive inverse or negative of an integer. What is the reciprocal of an integer called?
Reciprocal of an integer called negative inverse.
No, see, I'll tell you, when we don't know, it's better you say that you don't know than saying something, which makes me feel bad.
Okay, ma'am, I don't know.
Anirudh,
Ma'am,
any idea? Reciprocal of an integer is also called?
ma'am, multiplicative inverse.
Very good. Multiplicative inverse. Very good. Multiplicative inverse. I told you, when I started, I told you. Additive inverse is also called the negative of a rational number. I'm sorry. Additive inverse is also called negative of an integer. Multiplicative inverse is also called the reciprocal of an integer. Now, be very careful. Shall we start with the questions? I'm going to ask you all. Ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Navneet.
Yes, ma'am.
I want only the answer. I don't want anything. I just want the answer. The additive identity for integers is what?
The additive identity of 0.
Very good. Very good. Anirudh.
Ma'am, 1, ma'am.
What is the no? That I didn't ask you the question. I'm asking you what am I going to write now?
Ma'am, the multiplicative identity for integers.
Very good. The multiplicative identity for integers is what?
1, ma'am.
Very good. 1, ma'am.
1, ma'am. 1.
1. 1. Okay. Navneet.
3.
Anirudh.
Ma'am, the multiplicative inverse of minus 9 is multiplicative means 1, ma'am. So minus 9 into 1 is minus 9. Correct, ma'am?
இல்லம்மா தப்பு.
Ma'am, 1.
No. I'll give you some time, then I'll pass the question to Navneet.
The multiplicative inverse of minus 9 is. Ma'am, you guys told it, I think.
So these 4 terms
Ma'am,
I have seen. Yeah.
-9.
No. நான் என்ன ரூல் சொன்னேன் உங்களுக்கு? நீங்க ரூல் யூஸ் பண்ணாம சும்மா மேல நவ்னீத், where are you looking at the ceiling? What is in the ceiling? Children, what did I tell you? For identity, the answer is fixed. Identity means for addition it is 0, for multiplication it is 1. Leave that. Identity means only one answer you have. Additive identity means one answer only 0. Multiplicative identity only one answer 1. Leave that. Now for inverse, what should you do? When it is additive inverse.
Going too fast.
Huh?
So, no, yeah, I know you're not speaking like that, but your voice is going too fast when I hear it.
Okay. For
Like going
additive,
in like, yeah.
for additive identity, we know that the answer is 0. Yes or no? There's only one
Yes.
answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Multiplicative, yeah, multiplicative identity means identity. So only one answer it is. 1 is the answer. Now this is inverse. What should you do? You should change something. Additive inverse means change the sign, don't change the number. But for multiplicative inverse, change the number. Don't change the sign.
The answer is -1/9.
Minus 1/9.
-1/9.
Ma'am, so in the multiplicative inverse and also in the additive inverse, we should change the sign and also we should put like 1/9 like that, ma'am.
Multiplicative inverse, you must change only the number. Additive inverse, you should change the sign.
Okay, ma'am.
See, additive inverse is also called the negative of an integer. This is also called reciprocal. For both, the answer is the same. Reciprocal means multiplicative inverse. Negative means additive inverse. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah, Navneet. The multiplicative inverse of 19 is
1/19.
1/19. Correct. Anirudh, the multiplicative inverse of -49 is
Ma'am, for -1/49.
-1/49. You must write the sign as it is. You must change the number. 49/1 becomes 1/49.
Yeah, ma'am.
Navneet, the negative of 46 is
-46.
Anirudh. The negative of -33 is
-33, ma'am.
yeah
33.
33. So Anirudh, tell me, how do you write the negative? Will you change the number or the sign?
Sign, ma'am.
And Navneet, for multiplicative inverse, you will change the sign or the number?
The number.
The number. Remember that. You must remember these two. There's nothing to
yes.
get confused. You should practice. Now at home, you ask yourself and you should become fast in answering this. Now these questions you can ask yourself. Just take an integer and ask yourself, what is the multiplicative inverse? What is the additive inverse? So you must get used to this. You should not go wrong. See, I've given you enough practice. Now you should practice for yourself at home and it should be very clear.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. Now we'll understand the distributive property. Now, before we go to that, let me check if you people remember how to add and subtract integers, add, subtract, multiply, and divide integers. So now when you have, let me just, like recall it for you and then ask you questions. Okay. Now, supposing we have to find minus 33 minus 3. Okay. So now there are two things always, sign and the number, sign and the number. Now the number is 33 and the sign is minus. 1 second. The number is 33 and it carries a negative sign because the sign is before the number. A number, its sign is before it. So 33 carries a negative sign and 3 also carries a negative sign. So it is minus 3. So it is same signs. Situation is same signs. Same signs. When it is same signs, what should you do? You should add. And you should put the same sign. Put the same sign. This is the rule. Maybe I'll write it more neatly. If you want, you can take down. See here. Supposing you'll have to simplify. You'll have to simplify. Okay. So what should you do? It's minus 33 minus 3. So what do you see? Same signs. Minus minus, same signs. That means the operation is addition. Addition. You must add. And when you add, you'll get a number. Sign. Always the answer will have two things. See, Navneet is not listening. You're writing something.
Ma'am, answer.
I didn't ask you to write everything. See, you should learn to listen. I talk a lot. You must learn to listen. Same signs. So you should, what is the operation? Addition. See, answer is always, the answer always has two parts, sign and the number. What is a sign? What is a number? Now addition. Okay, addition, you'll get a number. You'll get a number as an answer. What is a sign? Put the same sign. Put the same sign. Now let us apply that here. Okay, so the answer is, should add 33 and 3. When you add, you will get 36. Okay, add panniyachu, addition. We've performed the addition. And what sign? Number you have got. What is the sign? Number and sign you must write. Put the same sign, minus 36.
Minus 36.
Now supposing you have plus 45 plus 9. So plus 45 plus 9, same signs. Same signs. So you should add and put the same sign. When you add, you get 54. Put the same sign.
It's just addition, like 45 plus 9.
Now supposing you have minus 45 plus 9. So what is this? Minus 45 plus 9. Different signs. Different signs. What is the operation? Subtraction. You must subtract. And put the sign of the greater number. Sign greater number. Greater number sign. You must put the greater number sign. Greater number sign.
Minus 36.
So you should the operation is subtraction. When you subtract 45 and 9, you get 36. And put the sign of the greater number, minus 36. Always the answer has two parts, sign and the number. The number is 36. What is the sign? Greater number sign. Do you all know this? Can you recall this?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Now let's see how we multiply. Okay, now supposing you'll have to multiply minus 3 and 2. Now in multiplication, do multiply. See, in multiplication, what else can you do? You should multiply. So 3 2 is 6. And you should, so in multiplication, you must multiply the signs and multiply the number. Multiply the signs, multiply the number. So when you multiply the signs, minus into plus is minus. And then, so minus into plus minus, 3 into 2, 6.
Okay,
Now,
ma'am.
supposing minus 4, minus 3. Multiply the signs. Minus into minus plus. 4 into 3, 12. Multiply the signs, multiply the number. Now, supposing 35 into 2, minus 2. There is plus here. So, plus into minus, minus. 35 into 2, 70. Multiply the signs, multiply the number. Minus 3 into minus 12. What's the answer? Multiply the signs. Minus into minus plus. Multiply the numbers.
36.
36. Now, same thing for division. Same thing for division. Now, supposing you have to divide minus 36 and minus 12. You can cancel the minus and minus signs. Do you know that?
Yes, ma'am.
Anirudh?
Cancel. And cancel.
Okay. Minus divided by minus is plus.
Okay, ma'am.
That is the same rules. Multiplication and division, they have the same rules. I'll tell you. Okay.
Oh, okay.
See here. What is minus into minus? What is
Plus,
minus
ma'am.
into minus?
Plus.
Plus. Same thing. Minus divided by minus is also plus. What is plus into plus?
Plus into plus is plus.
It's minus.
Plus.
Same thing. Plus divided by plus is plus only.
Plus.
What is minus into plus?
Minus.
Minus. Same thing. Minus divided by plus is minus.
Minus.
What is plus into minus?
Minus.
Yes.
No. Okay. So same thing here. Plus divided by minus is also minus. Same thing. Rules are the same for multiplication and division.
Okay, ma'am.
Add difference and subtract like that.
No, 1 minute. Now, Anirudh, I'll ask you some questions that will become clear. See here, Anirudh, what is 36 minus 36 divided by 3? What's the answer, Anirudh? Cancel. 3 ones are 3, 12 times, correct?
Minus 12 answer, ma'am.
Yeah, that's all. That's what I'm saying. Now, what is 36 by 3?
Ma'am, same, ma'am, 12.
What is minus 36 by minus 3?
Ma'am, 12, ma'am, 12, ma'am. 12.
That's what I said. Minus and minus will get cancelled. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
That's all. You know it. That's all it is. Okay? Now we'll understand the distributive property. Now we'll understand the distributive property. Distributive property of multiplication. First you should say of multiplication. Then you will say over addition or over subtraction. First we learn over addition. It is the distributive property of multiplication first. Over addition or over subtraction. Understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Distributive property of multiplication over addition. Distributive property of multiplication over subtraction. Okay. Now supposing we have minus 3 into, in the bracket, minus 4. 1 minute. Yeah. Supposing we have minus 3 into, in the bracket, minus 4 plus minus 7. Now, here we can use a distributive property. I'll tell you why. Are you both listening? Anirudh and Navneet?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anirudh? Are you in the meeting, Anirudh?
Ma'am, he is there. He is there.
Why no response, Anirudh?
ma'am. It got hanged. Ma'am.
Okay. All right. Now here we can use, now how do you identify when to use a distributive property? I'll tell you. The question should be like this. There must be 3 integers. Okay. There must be 3 integers. Now what are the integers here? -3, -4 and -7. There should be 3 integers, and first the operation should be between 2 integers. The operation should be multiplication. See here, between these two it is multiplication. Between these two it is addition. See, distributive property of multiplication over addition. So first you will see the multiplication sign. Navneet, you can look at the camera and yawn. That's okay to yawn. It's okay to yawn. You don't have to look down and yawn. You can look at the camera and just cover your mouth. That's it. Yeah, don't open your mouth wide in front of the camera. Yeah, just cover your mouth and yawn. You don't have to go down to yawn.
I yawned a little.
Okay, so there should be 3 integers. So here you can see -3, -4 and -7. You can see 3 integers. And see the first sign, multiplication. Then these two are connected by the addition sign. You should first understand how it looks like. What are the 3 integers, boys?
-3, -4, -7.
-3, -4 and -7. They are the 3 integers.
Integers.
The last 2 integers, they are in a bracket, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Why, Anirudh? Are you able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Sometimes Microsoft is kind of laggy. Like when you press something, it delays a lot.
Anirudh?
Ma'am?
Can you hear me? Can I continue?
Ma'am, ma'am, the account is switching, ma'am. Sometimes I don't know why it is switching, ma'am. I can't see it properly, ma'am.
Okay, no, I didn't continue because you did not answer. I did not continue. I'm there only. Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am. Now only, ma'am. Now only it's gone.
Okay, fine. Let me continue. Now, how many integers are here, Anirudh?
Ma'am, 3, ma'am.
Name the integers.
-3, -4 and -7, ma'am.
Very good. Now, the last, tell me the last 2 integers. There are 3 integers. No, tell me the last 2. Which are they?
-4 and -7, ma'am.
And they are connected by what sign?
Minus, ma'am.
-4 and -7. They are connected by the positive sign, no?
Ma'am, plus, ma'am. So, my minus 9, 10, 11.
No,
Ma'am,
I don't want the answer. No, I don't want the answer. The last 2. The last 2 numbers are connected by the plus sign. Can you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
And outside this bracket, can you see the multiplication sign? Navneet?
Yes, ma'am.
Anirudh? Yeah. Now, if it is like this, then you can use the distributive property of multiplication over addition. Now, Navneet, give me another example. See, we have not still solved this. I want you to identify the question first.
Ma'am, can we also use this property in more than 3 integers?
No, that is, you can solve it in a different way, but distributive property means only 3 integers. Because you are in standard 7, right? So in standard
Yes,
7, for your level it is. For 7th standard. Distributive property itself is about 3 numbers. Not for more than 3 numbers. Okay. Now, Anirudh, give me another expression like this.
Ma'am, minus 10 into minus 5.
You must say open a square bracket.
Open square bracket minus 5. Subtract.
No, that okay, that will be over subtraction.
Okay, ma'am, addition. Minus 5.
You don't have to say minus, you can say even 5.
5. Yeah,
Okay.
ma'am, square bracket close.
Navneet, use positive numbers, use only one negative number. Use two positive and one negative number and tell me an expression
Okay,
for
ma'am.
using a distributive property.
Open. Yes, ma'am. Open bracket minus 6. Close bracket. Into. Open bracket.
Open a square bracket.
Open a square bracket. Now open bracket.
Open a simple bracket.
Open a simple bracket. 7. Positive 7. Plus. Open bracket 6. Close bracket. Simple close bracket.
You can also, yeah, you can also write this as minus 6. You can also write, it can also be like this. Minus 6 into 7 plus 6. You can also write it like this.
Okay, ma'am.
So you can see 3 integers, 1, 2, 3 integers, you can see. And the first operation is multiplication, then between these two is addition. This is how, this is when you should use the distributive property of multiplication over addition. Now we'll see how to work it. You must multiply these two and multiply these two and add the results. So first let's multiply these two. See here. Listen very carefully.
Just say what answer I got for the first one.
Yeah, what did you get?
33.
Correct. The answer is correct. 33. Okay, boys. So see here. Multiply these two. So that means minus 3 into minus 4. Multiply these two. That is minus 3 into minus 7. And what is the sign here? Plus. Add the products. Add the products. So what will you get? Anirudh, are you there? Let's wait for Anirudh.
Okay.
Okay, maybe I'll ask him to use the recording for the last part of the class. Let me just finish this. Okay. He's calling me. Just a minute.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. My screen is visible? Anirudh?
Ma'am.
Okay, very good. Fine. I'll repeat because I'm not sure if you were listening to this. So to find the, so when you have an expression like this, you use the distributive property of multiplication over addition. How? Multiply these two numbers. So -3 into -4 in one bracket. Then multiply these two. So it will be -3 into -7. Now connect them with a plus sign because it's over addition. So plus sign. Now next step. What is minus into minus? Plus. 3 4s are 12. Write the sign as just plus. Minus into minus plus. 3 7s are 21. And 12 plus 21 is 33. So the answer is 33. Anirudh, try the next one.
Ma'am, minus 6 into 7 plus 6.
No, this one.
Okay, ma'am. Minus 10 into minus 9 plus 5.
Plus 5.
Ma'am.
Plus?
5.
No.
Ma'am, that only in the question, ma'am. Minus 10 into minus 9 plus 5. That only, ma'am.
Yeah, that's in the question. What's the answer?
Ma'am, so we should do multiplication, ma'am. Minus 10 into minus 9.
Then plus?
Plus the 10 into 9 is 90, ma'am. Plus 90, ma'am.
No. The first step you have not completed. Plus, right? Multiply this. Minus 10 into?
Ma'am, minus 90, ma'am.
No. 1 minute. Let me ask Navneet if he understood.
Yeah, ma'am. Wait, ma'am. 1 minute, ma'am. Minus 10 into 9, ma'am. And then minus 10 into 5, ma'am.
Yeah. Into 5. Now in the next step. What is minus 10 into minus 9?
Ma'am, plus 90.
Then this plus sign. Plus, what is minus 10 into 5?
Minus into plus is minus. So minus 10, minus 50.
So since you're getting minus 50, see here, there's already a plus sign, plus minus. So you should put it in a bracket because there are two different signs. So put it in a bracket.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now what's the final answer? Now you should multiply the sign. See, whenever you have two signs like this, plus and minus together, you should multiply the signs. Minus into plus is minus. So it will be 90 minus 50. Plus into minus is minus. 90
yes,
minus 50. So it's 40.
40, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah. Next one, Navneet. Are you there, Navneet? Next one.
Sorry, ma'am. Sorry, I was in mute. Yeah. My minus 6 into 7 plus minus 6 into 6. Yeah. 6 into 7. 1 second. Minus 42 and minus 36.
What about this sign?
Plus minus 36.
Plus minus 36. Now plus minus cannot be together, no?
Yes, ma'am.
So you should put this in a bracket. So next step, what you should do? Plus into minus?
Minus.
Yeah. So minus, you should remove the bracket. In the next step, you should remove the bracket. How? By multiplying the signs.
Yes.
Plus
So
into minus.
So minus 42 minus 36.
Now same signs.
Same signs add. So the answer add. So the answer would be minus 78.
Very good. Same signs add and put the same sign.
And put the same sign.
Understood? Navneet, yes, correct. You're right. Good. Anirudh?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. We'll do one more and wind up the session for today. We'll do over subtraction in the next class. Over subtraction, we'll do in the next class. We'll do one more on addition now. Now, supposing you have 200 into yeah, this is for Navneet. Next one will be for Anirudh.
Okay. 200. Yes, ma'am. So 200. 200 multiplied by minus 10.
With multiplication, you can have minus. That is okay. Plus and minus shouldn't be together. Then only you should put in a bracket.
Yeah. Plus 200 into 20 is equal to minus 2000. 4000.
Sign.
So plus 4000 is equal to 2000.
Different signs. Subtract.
Subtract and put the greater number symbol. And plus 2000 is the answer.
Very good. Next, Anirudh. Yeah, answer this one. Yeah.
Ma'am, minus 50 into minus 20, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, then?
Ma'am, and then multiplied by? Ma'am, no, ma'am, I'm saying like we should like go one step, ma'am, like that, ma'am. Like, ma'am, minus 50 into minus 5?
Plus minus 50 into minus 5. Next.
Minus 50 into minus 20 is 50. Ma'am, my plus 100.
Plus is correct, not 100.
See, no, sorry, ma'am. 1 minute, ma'am. Wait, ma'am. Ma'am, plus 1000.
Yeah, 1000.
Ma'am, plus 50, 250. Minus into minus plus. Ma'am, plus 250.
So you don't have to put the plus sign, just 250. So what's the final answer?
1250.
Very good. Well done, both of you. So you've understood how to simplify using the distributive property of multiplication over addition. Next class, we'll recall all this. Okay, and then continue. All right?
Okay. Yes.
All right, Navneet and Anirudh, thank you so much. That's it for today's session. You may leave the call.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Good day.